Alrighty, welcome, good afternoon, and welcome to the throw-in here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Happy Monday to everyone here, March the 27th, 2023. And boy, we are just days away. This is the week we've been talking about. This is the week that we've been waiting for and grinding up. And man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this busy week ahead of us. Listen, 3 days away from opening day in Major League Baseball, just 3 days away. I can't express how much fun it is getting guys ready for Cincinnati Reds baseball. And boy, there's a lot to talk about. So we got a lot to talk about today when it comes down to the Reds. Spring training is finally over. We will talk about the last couple games of the spring training season. We'll talk about how their spring training went overall, what we thought initially. And as much as we thought maybe we were giving ourselves a step forward during spring training, it seems to me that we're taking a few steps backwards. And we'll explain that here in today's program. The Final Four is officially set and underway. That will be played this Saturday. And San Diego State is one of them. And I'm happy because San Diego State is still alive and they're in the Final Four. First time, in Mountain West Conference history that San Diego State's advanced to the Final Four. But our Xavier Musketeers are officially done as they lost to Texas over the weekend. So we'll talk about the NIT tournament that is coming up. We'll also give you a breakdown of the Final Four matchup that's talking about. I also want to give you guys the opportunity to talk to you guys and update you guys about, I got it right here in my notes, how the seasons went for the three teams that we've been kind of covering overall, between Cincinnati Bearcats, the Xavier Musketeers, and the Kentucky Wildcats. So we'll talk a little bit about that today. And then we got WrestleMania, which is just days away. Just days away, right? The end of the week. And it starts tonight on Monday Night Raw, the go-home show of Monday Night Raw. That's tonight. And, we go on to WrestleMania 39. And apparently, we got ourselves the first match of WrestleMania 39 announced on Saturday. It looks like, and from my understanding, it looks like John Cena and Austin Theory will go on and have their match to kick off WrestleMania 39, and it would be for the United States Championship. So I think today, heading into Raw, the go-home show before WrestleMania, let's go ahead and break down Austin Theory and John Cena today. We'll also be taking a look at the Milwaukee Brewers, continuing our divisional series. And I got a busy week ahead of you guys. Trust me, I do. And so we got a lot of things to talk about. We're on here for 5 days. All right. So let's get down to business, because I want to talk to you guys about some things, especially about some new opportunities that has presented itself for this program over the past weekend. and I'm excited to talk about this, you guys. I really am. So on Friday, I ended up doing a live broadcast from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And if you guys missed that, I recommend going back and taking a look at it. And don't mind my milk that I'm drinking. I decided to make myself a cup of rice today, and I love hot sauce. I love the sriracha sauce. I put some on it, and I ended up it was a little too spicy. So, all right, let's get down to business. First of all, how was everyone's weekend? I know my weekend has been impactful. Like, it's been packed to the brim. To say, I did the show on Friday, relaxed. Saturday, I ended up getting the girls for a couple hours, and thanks to the wife, because every weekend when my girls come over, hey, come on, you guys, let's go out and go do something. Go to the park. Well, it's wintertime still. It's kind of what's in the midst of becoming between spring and winter, and things have been quite cold outside. And then whenever it rains the night before, the ground's still muddy, and I don't want to get them sick. They got a lot of allergies. And so we had ourselves so the wife came up with this idea, right? And she was like, yeah, let's take them out to this place. And we decided to take the girls out to the Newport Aquarium. And we were excited. We were, this is the first time I've been. Now, I love the aquatic marine life atmosphere. And, so one of my favorite amusement parks growing up was SeaWorld. And it still is, to go see the dolphins up close, and to go see the orcas and the sea lions, and, the polar bears, the walruses, the manatees, the stingrays, all that fun stuff, to go touch the starfish and feed the stingrays and feed the seals and whatnot. I love it. I mean, so and growing up, we used to got season passes all the time. So, my next place up there, the only other aquarium I've ever been to has been the Legoland Aquarium up there in California. And I love it. I love the effort that they take into making everything a Lego sculpture. So I ended up, we took them to the Newport Aquarium. I was thrilled. I was excited. And aquarium for me, you don't rush. Take your time. Walk through it. See all the habitats, all the exhibits. And, I think, just be able to stop and enjoy life under the sea. So we went, took the girls down to Newport, went to the aquarium, had a blast. And, I had a blast. The girls had a blast. And so a couple of things that I wanted to bring up here. So came back Sunday, played catch for a little bit with the girls before they took off to practice. And, I ended up not going to my daughter's practice on Sunday because I didn't. So I want my ex, that I want her to be able to take the girls to practice, and she's in a situation, she has a disability, and she is in a situation where she can't drive, and so her significant other is at work on Thursday nights, so she is unable to take the girls, the oldest, to practice for her softball. So I decided to, talk to her. I was like, hey, here's the opportunity. You may not have a lot of them. Go take the girls to softball, and, I could go back home, relax, and do what I need to do. So I ended up doing that. Ended up getting ready for the show. I had an interview. I had a meeting with Steve Barber from Armchair Booking, and then I was kind of doing some production work, and the computer slow, Wi-Fi slow, so it didn't really get too much done with that. Woke up this morning, took my girls to school, and kind of set for a couple of premieres. Now, a couple exciting things are going on our YouTube channel, and if you guys are not subscribed to our TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel, I highly recommend to subscribe today. Subscribe right now. Head on over to our YouTube channel, click the subscribe button, and there you go. So we've been working on this, and this is why I love Terry. So Friday night, I did an interview with Terry, Nikel, and Christina, all part of the Enlightened Studios, and promoting their upcoming play, Love's Not Enough, which was a huge success back in January. And it was not only a huge success, but it was such a success that they are coming back again next week, not this weekend, April 7th and 8th. They're heading back on the road. So we're doing interviews. And today we will have an interview for you in the second hour of the program with Brittany Brown. And that one, I think the interview is currently going on right now on our YouTube page. So check that out. All right. But we will play that interview also on this program and so forth. And as we do interviews, I got an interview scheduled for tonight. And as I plan on doing interviews, I will go ahead and post them up on not only on this live episode, but also on our audio platforms. So if you missed it, there's really no reason why you should miss an interview. So I was talking to Terry, and we got a bunch. We're just throwing ideas back and forth. Excuse me. So we're throwing ideas back and forth. And he presents to me an idea that I honestly am terrified, but I just cannot turn down. He presents the idea of, hey, you're doing a lot of work for us, promoting the product and this and that. And I want you, help me help you. And you're helping us. Excuse me. So you're helping us. And so he wants to return the favor. It's about the way I'm helping him is having his guests come on our show, talk with us, be able to get that exposure, promote the show, hopefully, have people listen, have people watch, and all of that good stuff. So Terry was like, why don't you come out next weekend and do a live pre-show with us, kind of at the scene and go live. And there's a couple of things that has to happen in order to do that. So I'm crossing them off the list. And it's official. You guys, next Friday night, you guys, we're going live. We're going live from the Community Arts Center in Fairfield, Ohio. Okay. We're going to do our normal Friday show like we normally do. We're going to pack everything up. And we're going to take it on the road up north to the Fairfield Community Arts Center. And we're going to do a show strictly about Love's Not Enough, which is our main topic. And so I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I'm stoked. We're going to do a pre-show and a post-show talking about the experiences, getting you guys ready for the live event. And I'm speechless of words. And so I want to first of all, just thank Terry for an opportunity of a lifetime, because I'm terrified of speaking in front of other people, especially doing a program like this. I get that fear of everything just going wrong, right? And I don't know. I got to fix a couple of things. I got to get a couple of things set up. But I'm excited because we get to go out there. And so I talked to the wife, and I was like, listen, all right, so you get off your work at 2. Let's go ahead and head down there after work. Be there by 4. Do the setup. Do a 5 to 6 show. We got Terry and Lighten Studios are going to help us out. Get us some tickets to the program. So we're going to watch watch the play. Nice little date that we're going to get a chance to go to, and then afterwards come back and do a live episode to recap the show. He says there's a lot of audience that wants to weigh in their opinions. They stay and they talk. I'm like, all right, it's going to be an eventful Friday night for us. So we got that going up as well, and I'm extremely excited to present that to you. This is the first time, and as I know the details, we'll go over the details. But go ahead and make sure that if you guys are in the area, you guys have not gotten a chance to get your tickets yet at the Community Arts Center, go ahead and get your tickets now, and meet us there. Come by, say hi to us. We're going to get a lot of people on there. It's going to be a long day, an exciting day. I'm nervous, and I'm excited at the same time. So that's what's planned for us down the road. We're still doing interviews for Love's Not Enough, but we will be broadcasting there live next Friday afternoon before the play. Yeah, I just got a text from the wife saying, you just called me your wife. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I think she's excited. She's very supportive of what I'm doing and everything that I'm doing here. Although it doesn't really give us where we want to be, it's the growing that counts. It's the growing that counts, and I appreciate the support and the love that she gives. She puts up with the worst. And I'm talking about late nights on the program. We don't, I take time away from, maybe watching movies with her on the couch, or, cuddling with her down, throughout the day. And, and she allows me to get ready for the show and the hours I put in for this program. So, none of this is possible without her. So, thank you to her for being so supportive and appreciative and patient with me while we try new things and experiment and try to grow this brand and this product. All right, let's have a wonderful 2-hour program today. Let's come on back and let's talk some Cincinnati Reds baseball, because the spring training is over with, but you guys, we got some not so great news, and it feels like we're taking steps backwards instead of the progress that we're supposed to be making throughout the spring, at least that we thought we were making throughout the spring. So if you guys are watching us on our YouTube channel, we thank you. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button for more information. Please also have the episode of the program. If you guys are tuning us in on Facebook or Twitter, we thank you. Like it, share with a friend, invite you guys over to join the comment sections. If you guys comment in our YouTube page, we will go ahead and open your discussions, talk about what you guys want to talk about. So comment down below. Also, if you guys are listening to us on audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever, we thank you and welcome you guys all in. If it wasn't for you guys, none of this is possible. So, all right, let's take a time out. Come on back. We got 2 hours going to you up until 2. You guys are listening to The Throw It here on the TSC Sports Talk YouTube channel. All righty. 12:22 here on the program. Welcome back, everyone, to the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Justin here, take you guys up until 2 o'clock, beginning off of a fantastic week. Want to give a big shout out to our friends over there at StreamYard Studios, the proud home of the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel, where you can create podcasts, host virtual business meetings, conduct interviews, and even host virtual business. host virtual business meetings, conduct interviews, create podcasts, create videos, all that good stuff. Check out StreamYard.com for more information. Alrighty, Cincinnati Reds have wrapped up a spring training to remember. And, what's your initial thought? Yes, I'm back on Friday. I told you guys to start thinking about expectations to have if you are, for the Reds season, 2023 season. And, I think we got to lead off with how did you think spring training went overall? They finished spring training 15-14. Last 10 games of the season, they went 6-4. They scored 176 runs, giving up 186 runs. Their home series was 7-6, and their road series was 8-8. And I think to myself about their spring training, and there was some cool, exciting moments, especially as we start promoting or we start getting into the 2023 season and what the future is technically option to have. I mean, this is an exciting time. And I know it's a little frustrating with some of the news that we'll get into in this segment. But the Reds have had an average spring training. When it compares to what they're expected to do during the regular season, and any winning organization should play 500 baseball on the road and then play above 500, especially at home. And we're going to get ready to talk a lot about Pittsburgh Pirates and a lot about the Cincinnati Reds as they set to square off on Thursday, game 1 of a 3-game series. And it's all about how the Reds kick off 2023, which I think is going to be a huge statement, and it's going to define how this season is going to go down. Now, one of the, I guess, downfalls of the big one of the concerns, let me put it that way, for 2023 is that come opening day, we're not going to see the guys that lit up the stars in spring training. We're talking about Matt McLain, Christian Encarnacion Strand, Ellie De La Cruz, a lot of these rookies, a lot of these, younger guys. And I understand some of the process, but, now I guess what is exciting? What is the excitement heading into 2023? You got Joey Votto, who is not 100% ready for opening day and may be questionable for the month of April, which is a big X factor in the success that the Reds are going to need this season. We just learned that Encarnacion Strand and De La Cruz are going to start off on the IL along with Luke Weaver. And, we're expected to see them at some point this season. But with the injuries that is right now lurking, I mean, Ellie De La Cruz has a left hamstring. And I don't think that that's going to lead much of a setback, but it all depends how he comes back. Christian Encarnacion Strand is dealing with a slight herniation in his back. And trust me, I know that through experience. I'm dealing with a herniation in my back right now. That isn't pleasant. And it could significantly take a lot of time away from playing baseball, especially to properly, heal. So right now, I think we're starting to take a few steps backwards into the progression that we were initially viewed as during spring training. Because let's not forget, we had a phenomenal spring training view from Christian Encarnacion, almost to the point where we felt that he was ready for opening day. that he should have almost made the opening day roster. I was listening to Locked On Reds this morning, and they were just telling me, they were giving you guys updates about how the Reds look like and how the rotation looks like. Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Graham Ashcraft are the three essential key players. For the 4 and 5 guy out of the rotation, you have Luis Cessa, who I think we definitely believed that he was going to fit in there by default. But then Connor Overton. And so I guess as we go down, let's go down to what we have and our expectations. So realistically, where do you think that the Cincinnati Reds are going to be best placed in 2023 in the NL Central? Are they going to finish down at the very bottom where they are under 500, where they are, fourth, trying to fight to stay out of fifth place with the Pittsburgh Pirates, just like last season? Do you see, for me, I don't think too much has been taken away from what the Reds have to offer out there, that I could see them at a 75-plus win season. Now, compared to last year, the Reds don't have a lot of key players that are out starting the season off on the IL. And boy, I'll tell you that it was devastating last season when we had the core guys that we anticipated on defining the Red season last year, not on the roster. They began majority of the season last year on the IL. I think there is a relief that, especially when we look at the top 3 guys in our rotation, Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Graham Ashcraft, when they're all healthy beginning the season, I think that's a positive note. Because remember last year we had Mike Minor and Luis Castillo, 2 of the 3 guys that we really needed to begin the season. They were out with injuries, and they didn't come back until mid-July. So they missed a really good part of the 2022 season, and that really hurt the Cincinnati Reds. Being able to get out to a hot start this year in the month of April, I think, is crucial. And Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, and Graham Ashcraft is going to play a vast majority reason on how good our season is going to be. I strongly think that they're going to thrive off of each other. And with that being said, I think we're going to rely on them being healthy for the most part. Now, at the back end of the rotation, okay, I was seeing Luke Weaver. Now, he's currently out with a right forearm issue, and I don't know how long or how the longevity of that injury is going to be. Luis Cessa, I think, fills in that spot because we could have, David Bell could have gone Connor Overton, Brandon Williamson. Well, I think it lacks too much of the back end power of the rotation. Now, here's what I have to say to that. I don't mind how this rotation works because you got Connor Overton, number 4, Luis Cessa, number 5. Where I feel is now struggling is that there's really nobody right now at this moment on today, March 27th, that is open and capable of filling in those 4th and 5th spots compared to, down there in the minors. So if God forbid this happens, but someone gets hurt, we really have no one developed and ready to take the everyday spot of one of these guys in the rotation. And I wouldn't say Connor Overton was the go-to answer. I think if Luke Weaver gets healthy, he may be one of the guys who you quickly send down, but I think the option still lies. See, Brandon Williamson goes down to the minor leagues. He works with Levi Stroud, he builds some confidence down there in AAA. If someone gets hurt, he could fill in the back end of the rotation, sliding them up. I still strongly believe that at some point this season, Luis Cessa needs to come down to the bullpen and to help the ball club as a longevity pitcher. And it's not going to be Connor Overton. So depending how that bullpen shapes up and how well that bullpen handles themselves throughout the offseason, throughout the season, and how well our starting rotation handles themselves during the offseason, during the regular season, excuse me, then I think that would dictate the future of Luis Cessa. It is a difficult pill to swallow when you know and understand why the Reds didn't do anything during the offseason, because this is at the point where it would be nice to see a couple extra guys in that rotation to a 1-year contract that can definitely help these Red Legs out. So back to where we're kind of starting to go off of expectations for the 2023 Cincinnati Reds. 75 plus wins. Do you guys think the Cincinnati Reds will win 75 plus games this year? I'm going to take that the Reds are going to win at least 75, if not more. Now, a lot of things have to go right for the Reds, and this is where I think it's a little difficult to say that they will go right. But if everyone stays healthy for the majority of the season, I don't see why they can't go 75 plus wins. I say that they're also going to be NL Central third place team, to be honest. And that may be a bold prediction. But I truly feel like they're going to have almost a 500 ball club. And if they have a 500 season, I think for me that wins the season. And I'm satisfied. I told you guys back on Friday, don't go crazy with what you guys predict, like having extremely bold predictions, but let's have some realistic looks. And I think that the team that the Reds have on hand and what the future is to come gives you about 75 to 80 wins. Alexis Diaz has 20 plus saves this year. Alexis Diaz has been named by the Reds by David Bell that, hey, listen, we're going to kind of stick with him as our closer. Now, throughout the course of the year, I think that there's a couple other things that we consider, and he may not get every closing opportunity. But 20 plus saves, I think is a little too much for Alexis Diaz. I say about 15 to 17 save opportunities, because he's also going to share those saves among other guys in the bullpen. Joey Votto's final year, or does he bounce back? Joey Votto has told media that he is not 100% when it comes down to feeling ready for opening day. And in an article on the Cincinnati Reds Red page that was given out back on Saturday by Mark Sheldon, no decision has been made yet about whether Votto will be ready when the Reds host the Pirates Thursday on opening day. All right, Joey Votto, who is 39 years old, who was a designated hitter in Saturday's 9-2 loss to the White Sox, and he went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in 5 innings. He is batting 182 with an on-base percentage of .308 in 8 games, or in this case 9. Before the game, he spoke about the length of about the issues involved with the decision. He said, and I quote, "I haven't played any 9-inning games. We played every day. We play in 9-inning games every single day for 6 months. More than anything, I'm coming back from a surgery that involves a longer rehab. I want to make sure I am fully prepared when I come back." which I think that's a really good decision for Joey Votto. Because we want Joey Votto, his days are numbered. And when we want Joey Votto, we want him at the best that he could possibly offer. He goes on and says there is a reason guys ramp up and do the 3 outs of 4 days, 7 innings, 9 innings, and they do that for a stretch of time. I'm happy about the progress. My swing doesn't feel ready yet. My legs don't feel ready yet, but I'm working hard defensively on the bases and in competition to get back as soon as possible. He goes on and says in the article from Mark Sheldon over the weekend, as far as a major league at bats, that's not how preparation works. Preparing for a season is tied to adapting to the speed and volume, building up stamina, building up the capacity to handle consistency and consecutive work in a variety of climates. That's the objective of spring training. He finishes off by saying here that the second you get to put into that first lineup, you're not in rehab mode. You're not in let's play pace him mode. I have the responsibility coming back and being able to answer the lineup every day. Available for any pitch hit, defensive switch, where what have you, and then run it back each and every day for the rest of the season. That's exactly why I'm preparing for. I'm trying to move towards that. I feel like I'm getting closer towards that. So it doesn't sound like he's ready for opening day, which I think is a bummer. Now it looks like, listen, he's not going to push himself back. But if he, this is a big factor to begin the season for the Reds, because I know Votto is not ready for the at-bats, but if he is out there, he is still a crucial at-bat to face. Let's continue this list, and let's continue talking about the Cincinnati Reds as we head to the bottom of the hour. Because I want to know from you guys, is this Joey Votto's final year? How much will we see of Joey Votto? And rookies infields with Encarnacion and with Ellie De La Cruz injured, are we still set to see this rookie infield that's been so projective and entertaining this spring training? Let's answer those questions when we come back. You are listening to The Throw-In here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Alrighty, 12:45 here on the program. Welcome back, everyone, to the throw-in and bottom of half of the hour. There we go. All right. And we're talking about the Cincinnati Reds. And what we're talking about out of the Cincinnati Reds are the expectations that we have for them in this 2023 season. So questions like, should they be winning 75 plus games? Should they be, stuff like that? Who should we see? How long should we see? And I think the expectation overall is to see the Cincinnati Reds transition from the veterans, and the team of the past to what this future team should look like by the end of the season. And so what I mean is that we should be seeing guys like Encarnacion Strand, Levi Stroud, um, Ellie Dela Cruz, Matt McClain, kind of all transition into that roster spot at some point this year. They're going to get tied into the mix with guys like Tyler Stevenson and get into the mix with guys like Hunter Green, Nick Lodolu, Graham Ashcraft, Alexis Diaz are also worthy enough names to mention. But this is what we need to be seeing. And I feel like the Reds are on a little step back than what they were at the beginning of spring training, because the reports come out that Ellie Dela Cruz and Christian Encarnacion Strand are going to start the season off on the IL down in the minor leagues. And we knew that Encarnacion has been dealing with his lower back injury since the beginning of spring training. He pushed through it. And I think the only reason I'm going to take this, although I feel like this is a step back, I'm going to take this as an opportunity because these men have had a phenomenal spring training, really. That, all right, Christian, go take care, rest a couple weeks. Let's reevaluate you before spring training, before the minor league season starts, which, by the way, I don't think starts for like another 2 weeks, and let's see what the best care for you is. And then let's revisit what we have to do. Compared to someone like, Luke Weaver, who we were really expecting at the beginning of the season, now is out. The expectations, I think, for this season should be, I think, a standard. It's going to be an adjustment period, and it's interesting, I guess, to see how much adjusting are the Reds going to do. Joey Votto is not 100%. More than likely, he may begin day one on opening day on the IL, a day-to-day basis. With his at-bats, he knows, he feels like he's getting better, but he just hasn't gotten better enough. Right? He doesn't feel like he's all the way there, and he knows what it's going to take from him to be able to get back to the everyday playing mode. And so do you think that he can get back? He's also said, listen, this is it. If my body can't get to the shape and can't get to the playing time, then maybe it's time to call it quits. He's entering his final season at $225 million contract that he signed back in 2012. He's coming off the worst offensive year of his career. Over 91 games, he's only batted .205 with his OPS at .689, 11 home runs, and 41 RBIs. Votto said this in an article over the weekend with Mark Sheldon. I mean, this is serious. I think I'm going to play well. I think I'm going to perform well offensively. If not, I'm going to retire. End of story. And I like this. I do like the motivation. Because although I like to see Joey Votto finish the season and finish his career with the Reds, I think it's important that we understand how far do we have to draw the line. And I'm not expecting this season to be much of anything for the Redlegs. But if you are somebody who, but if you're Joey Votto and you're like, listen, this ain't working out for me, then it is probably time to allow somebody new to kind of step in and take that responsibility. Now, I think one of the key solutions, and I would like to see Joey Votto finish off this year and say, all right, my contract's up. I'm done playing. It's best if I just stop. Right? Let me retire as a Cincinnati Reds, future Hall of Famer. But for me, the role that he plays, I think, really changes. I don't need Votto to be an everyday first baseman. I don't need him to play 100 games this year at first base. We have Tyler Stevenson and we have Will Myers who are capable of playing first base. What I want from Votto is his offensive role. And I think if you give him time more as a designated hitter where he can focus on his at bats, then I think we can milk every last ounce of Joey Votto. One of the questions I had for expectations is where does the rookies come in? And because we don't see the rookies or a lot of these younger guys start off in the major leagues that maybe we expected to, at what point this year are we going to see them get called up to the big leagues, especially now knowing that a lot of these guys are going to start the season off on the IL. Now, I'm not going to look, I don't think it's something to look too much into at this moment. Now, unless there's injuries left and right within the first month of April and, knock on table, hopefully there's not. I really don't mind seeing Christian and Ellie De La Cruz start the season off on the IL. Let them rest. Let them regain their composure and let them build their way back into the minor league because we don't need to call them up quite yet. And I think overall it should be an end of the year game plan, not the end of the month game plan. So although we're excited to see Ellie De La Cruz and Christian Encarnacion come up, I say don't rush because the game plan is not 2023. The game plan is set for 2025, 2026. And these guys, they'll just make an impression this year, but then don't expect them to do anything significant. I'm also expecting guys like Brandon Williamson, Levi Stroud to really play in the order. But I think my overall fear for this season is how is everyone staying healthy. And, I think that they have a good product out there on the field coming into the season. But I think their product is only major league roster right now. Everyone else that's down there in the minor leagues, they're down there in AAA and AA for a reason. And I don't think that they're ready for the major leagues yet. And what's going to end up happening is when someone gets hurt and someone gets injured, we're going to have to use them at the major league roster. And that's where I think the season will get away to us because they're not ready. And I'm about 80% confident in Connor Overton. And I'm about 80% confident in Luis Cessa. But here are these numbers. Back on Friday, Hunter Green went 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, winning the game against Arizona 7-4. Spencer Steer, Jose Barrero, Henry Ramos all hit home runs in the contribution win. On Saturday, we saw Connor Overton had his last outing on the season. Now, if it tells me correctly, Connor Overton is not expected to have an outing on the mound until next Monday, so a week from today, against the Chicago Cubs. And he hasn't really had a spring training to remember, to be honest. Maybe you want him to kind of fit in with Graham Ashcraft in that competition and Nick Lodolu, but in 5 innings, David Bell really let him go the distance. He went 5 innings, giving up 11 hits, 9-1, striking out 6, but allowing 3 home runs as the Reds lost 9-2. Nick Lodolu pitched on and Derek Law pitched on Sunday doubleheader game. Lodolu only went 2 for 2, striking out 3, walking 3. See, I can expect Lodolu and allow Hunter Green. I guess here's my problem. Luis Cessa is going to give you an average start, and I'm confident with that. Connor Overton, I'm scared about. I'm not confident every 5 days about what Connor Overton can give you. I'm confident about Hunter Green, Nick Lodolu, and Karam Ashcraft as our top three. But what I fear is because the lack of experience between Luis Cessa and Connor Overton combined at the bottom 2, 4, and 5 slots, I get worried how they what's the best way to put it? I get worried about what they're capable of doing. And that leads into, well, all right, well, to make up what Luis Cessa and Connor Overton does, I need to have a lights out performance from my starting three. And I guess my other thing is too, I still highly recommend that the Reds have some sort of longevity pitcher that can give you 3, maybe 4 innings from time to time, or even give you a start out of the bullpen from time to time in case we need it. And right now, we need it. I don't think that the Reds are going to go pick up anybody special, but I do believe that they could benefit if they could go pick up a starting pitcher out there on current free agency. I think that would be a good spot, but I don't know. I'm expecting. I have different expectations for the Reds this year. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Our number 1 is in the books. When we come back, we'll give you a trip around Cincinnati, take a look at the Cyclones in college basketball, take you a look at the NIT and the NCAA tournament, as well as how the local teams in men's basketball finished off the season with, as Xavier fell for Texas Longhorns over the weekend. And we still have our interview with Brittany Brown coming up here at the middle of hour number 2, following by WrestleMania, a look at Monday Night Raw ahead. All of that still to come. You guys are listening to The Throne right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Alrighty, hour number 2 here. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the throw-in. A lot of stuff to go on this week, and we're just getting underway. Want to give a big shout out to our friends out there at Spreaker. Upload your audio platform through Spreaker from iHeartRadio. TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Proud to be using Spreaker. You guys can check out the throw-in now on all major audio platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You guys could also check the interviews that will be posted up here today from Love's Not Enough as they get ready to have an encore performance weekend, Easter weekend, April 7th through April 8th. Tickets are still available at the Community Arts Center in Fairfield, Ohio. Get your tickets now. But all those episodes will be uploaded to Spreaker. And encourage you guys new podcast listeners, jump on over, take us on the road wherever you guys go on Spreaker.com. Alrighty. Listen, we got a big week going through. We want to welcome everyone in, and we'll talk plenty of wrestling here in hour number 2. But in this hour number 2, want to talk about, we will be having an interview with Brittany Brown, which the interview is available right now on our TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. And She was our first interview of these new interview cycles. Had one live on last Friday with Terry, Nikel, and Christina. And we'll be having more throughout the week. Now, these interviews, they're wonderful. They're great people, got some audience, understandings, audience coming on. And it leads up to our major announcement. Next Friday night, we will be giving you a live performance down at the Community Arts Center in Fairfield, Ohio. First time ever that we'll be taking this program on the road. We'll be down there. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's not a failure. I would hate that, but excited. Like I said, talked to the wife early about it, talked to Terry, big supporters. He hooked us up with a couple of tickets in a little area that we can go on. And we're going to have guests. He's like, man, I'm going to send everybody your way. And I'm like, great, because I need it. We're going to be going live at 5 p.m. Take you guys up until about, 6:30, 7, almost 7 o'clock. Getting you guys ready for Love's Not Enough. Check us out. Get your tickets today. Come out there. Check us out. Give us a love and support for the program. And we're excited to be being able to get this opportunity. So great talking about that. Like I said, Love's Not Enough, a theater play be presented by Enlighten Studios, written and directed by Terry Chappell II. From its original play back in 2019, they revamped it, they reproduced it back in January, did a whole bunch of interviews then. Go check that out. And then they're going to do it again April 7th at 7 p.m. and April 8th at 3 p.m. Go check out the Community Arts Center in Fairfield, Ohio for tickets and more information. Get them quick. They're going out fast. All right. So hour number 2, let's get down to local sports. What's going on here in the tri-state area. And let's go ahead and bring you up some music. All right, bringing back some of the music there. Here, Cincinnati Cyclones had a nice weekend on the road at Utah against the Grizzlies. They picked up the win on Friday, 4-3, and as well on Sunday, 6-3. They're currently 43, 12, and 3 in the ECHL Central standings. They hold a first place lead over Toledo Walleye, 42, 16, and 3. As we wrap up the month of March at home this Friday against South Carolina Stingrays on a beach towel giveaway night. The puck drops at 7:30. Tickets are still available. Alrighty, college basketball in the local area. Cincinnati Bearcats had a 3-game series against the Butler Bulldogs. They picked up a victory on Saturday, final in 8 innings, 15-5. They dropped the first game on Sunday, 8-5 over Butler, but picking up a game 3, the rubber game series over the Cincinnati Bearcats, over the Butler Bulldogs, 13-3, final in 7. The Bearcats moved to 11-14 on the season with a game-winning streak. Their next game is tomorrow at 6 p.m. against Louisville. Xavier Musketeers baseball. They had a 3-game series against West Virginia, at which they ended up dropping the first 2, 5-4 and 7-2. And they came back on Sunday, picking up a victory win, avoiding the sweep 8-3. Xavier Musketeers moved to 11-12 with a 1-game winning streak. They'll have a couple games this week, one tomorrow on the road against Ohio State. First pitch tomorrow night is at 6 p.m. And then Wednesday is at 3 p.m. against the Wright State. And then we're going to jump over to college basketball. Unfortunately, the season has ended for the Xavier Musketeers, dropping that game on Friday night, 83-71. Fell short, 42-25 in the first half. Was just not capable of climbing back enough. Jack Nunchi went for a double-double on Friday night, 15 points, 11 rebounds. That will conclude the Musketeers basketball season as they finish off 27-10 overall. And conference, they were 15-5. At home, the Musketeers were 15-2, 7-4 on the road, 5-4 neutral. They made it to the NCAA tournament, losing in the Sweet 16. It's nice. You finish all your home, your road, and your neutral sites above 500, which I think is an impressive season. For the other teams here, Kentucky Wildcats made it to the NCAA tournament, losing in the second round to Kansas State last weekend. They move on. They finish their season 22-12, 12-6 in conference play, 14-4 at home, 6-4 on the road, 2-4 at neutral sites. The Cincinnati Bearcats, who made it to the NIT tournament, losing in the third round, went 23-13 overall. Conference play 11-7, 16-3 at home, 5-7 on the road, 2-3 at neutral sites. So, how did our college teams do? Let's be honest with each other. They all finished above 500 at home. They were very, I think they had a really good road series, away record. Conference wise, they all finished with 10 plus wins, and ending off the overall season, they all finished 20 plus victories. And I strongly believe that they had a really good season. And I hear things from out of Kentucky's side. I hear, all right, what's the plan moving forward with Cincinnati and Xavier? And I'm like, I understand that there are changes that are to be made, right? It's every year, but and I guess for me, I come from a division or from a conference where even the NIT is an important view. So, and just making the NCAA tournament, winning one round is such a big deal, at least from where I come from and the time frame I come from with San Diego State. So for me, when I look at these three teams and I see they won 20 plus games, they made it to the NCAA tournament, they made it to the Sweet 16, I'm like, that's a really good season compared to teams that only win 2-3 games of the year. And, definitely, and I understand. I think I have to understand to a level where this season, where these teams have high expectations, and especially if they want to move into more competitive conferences, they have to really, you kind of be lights out in their, as their season progresses. But 23 wins, 22 wins, 27 wins, I think those are incredible streaks. And, all good things do come to an end, unfortunately. So the NCAA tournament moves down to the Final Four. For the first time in a while, we do not see a number one seed. Saturday, April 1st, the Final Four will premiere. You will see FAU take on San Diego State at 6:09 p.m. And then at the nighttime game, Miami takes on UConn, and the winner of those two games will face each other April 3rd for the NCAA championship game. First time that Cincinnati State Aztecs made it this far. Knock on wood. We wish them the best of luck. So we'll cover that heading closer to time. That is your college sports. That is a trip around your local Cincinnati tri-state area. All right. Let's get down to business here. Spring training wise here. It's going to take me a minute to load. Cactus League action. We see Chicago finishing off 16-12. Right behind Chicago, 15-14. And the Milwaukee Brewers are 11-14. Well, on the other hand, Where did we find St. Louis? St. Louis leads 16-7. Okay. Had a really good spring. But Pittsburgh's down at the bottom, 9-16. And I'm like, man, yes, we should be taking care of business when it comes down to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And as we talk this season, as we talk tomorrow, we are going to wrap up our weekly show around the Central NL Central. I'm getting ready for the next part of this segment here. And we'll look, and then on Wednesday, we'll really dive into the roster, what we have going on, this and that. It's going to take us a second. Alrighty, come on. We got this. All right. So let's get down to what we want to get down to. And that's talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, Milwaukee is going to finish off and continue their spring training today. First pitch is coming up here in about 2 hours from now against the Colorado Rockies. They're going to have Eric Lauer on the mound for the Brewers, but they're expected to head on the road to begin their season against the Chicago Cubs. So let's get down to the regular season and what is expected for the month of April for the Brewers. Now, my overall goal plan for the season is to kind of take a look at every team in the division throughout the month and kind of really keep a close tab on what they're capable of doing. So let's go ahead. Hold on one second. I want to make sure I got everything right and righteous and going. Yeah. All right. There we go. Got the right screen on hands. And let's go. No. I hate this when the internet doesn't want to work the way it wants to work. Uh-oh. There we go. All right, we got it going. So they kicked the season off on the road against the Chicago Cubs, coming home to face the New York Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals. And I think this year, once again, like last year, every time the Brewers face the Cardinals, they're going to be an interesting matchup, either on the road or at home. Then in the middle of April, they're going to be on the road against the Diamondbacks and the Padres in a 4-game series, followed by the West Coast trip of the Seattle Mariners. The Milwaukee Brewers will then come home to face the Red Sox, the Tigers, and the Angels. And they're going to really get a true test of facing the Mets, the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Padres, and the Angels, and, all of the above. And it's just a little bit of everything, a little bit of Central, a little bit of West. I think, all right, so you got NL Central, NL East, NL Central, NL West, NL West, AL East, AL Central, and AL West again. So within the first month, they're going to face a little bit of everybody from each and every division. And what's exciting about seeing a schedule like this for a team like the Milwaukee Brewers is that you want them to kind of kick off to a bad start. You want them to kind of get to the cold waters. And really, it would definitely do us wonders, do us, benefit us um, to be able to go ahead and have them start the season off under 500. Taking advantage of everything that they have to offer. Absolutely. All right, so let's take a look a little bit at the depth chart that the Brewers have once it loads. You're going to rely, and listen, it looks very promising. And this is where it's a scary part, because just like the Cubs that we saw on Friday, Corbin Burns will be one of the dominating pitchers in the rotation, along with Brandon Woodruff, Eric Lauer. You got Freddie Peralta. But my main guy I want to kind of see progress, and I'm actually excited to see out of the Milwaukee Brewers roster, is Aaron Ashby. I've saw a little bit saw a little bit of him last season. Kind of just interested in seeing what he has capable of giving us. That bullpen there, really nothing too. I don't see nothing that really jumps out. Adrian Hauser maybe, but that kind of it. Colin Array, former Padres there. Catchers: William Contreras, Victor Carantini, Alex Jackson, all decent guys. Rowdy Tellez is going to definitely be a difficult guy to handle. Luis Urias is really starting to come into his own, whether he's at second base or we see Bryce Terang move up there. Brian Anderson, okay. Willie Adames and Urias are going to be your key figures around shortstop and second base. Christian Yelich, one of those guys expected to have a bounce back year, hopefully, and the Brewers really need him to have a bounce back year. Garrett Mitchell, Tyrone Taylor, and Jesse Winker. It's going to be interesting to see Jesse Winker in a different ball uniform, but a new uniform, new look, and a different opportunity. So Jesse Winker's a guy I'm looking out for. Christian Yelich, depending on how what type of season he gives us. Willie Adames, Luis Urias. So the Milwaukee Brewers have themselves, I think, a decent roster. Is it a playoff worthy roster? To be honest, I'm not there yet. I think the Cardinals still have a favored roster at hand, but we will look at the Cardinals tomorrow and to wrap up our NL Central division look at of their first month of April and what they have to offer. All right, let's take a step away. Let's come on back. And we'll talk about the interview with Brittany Brown. You guys are listening to The Throw-In here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Alrighty, welcome back here to the throw-in here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. And, we want to go ahead and talk about an upcoming play that is coming your way here April 7th and April 8th. Love's Not Enough, presented by Lighten Studios, written and directed by Terry Chappell II. Tickets are still available at the Community Arts Center in Fairfield, Ohio. And we have given the privilege and the honor to be granted permission to interview cast members, audiences from the past performance back in January. And today we got to sit down with Brittany Brown, Alrighty, we're joined here at this
let's-
time. There you go. Let's restart that. All right, so we get a chance to sit down with Brittany Brown. You'll listen to here in a moment. Great stuff. And I hope you guys enjoy the interview. I really do. And if you guys are looking to get your tickets, check them out here at the Community Arts Center, Fairfield, Ohio, April 7th, April 8th. Get your tickets today. We'll be down there live April 7th, so check us out then. All right, enjoy the video, and we played right after this quick promotional ad.
Like no one can. Where is your heart? What does it look like? Bruised, damaged, or mistreated. Where is your heart? What does it look like? What do you do with the feelings you feel?
Brittany Brown, who plays Rachel, the wife to Brandon and the daughter to Nathan and Laura in the theater play. Love's Not Enough. That you guys did a couple of performances a couple weeks ago, and you guys will be doing a couple more performances coming up here on Easter weekend, April 7th and the 8th. 2 more performances, and before hopefully you guys get to hit on the road and start traveling. Welcome. Thank you for coming back on the program.
No problem. It's an honor to be here.
So, I mean, I just want to hear about it. How was the performance? Because you guys had it was a massive weekend for you guys. It was a successful weekend. Just tell us about how your overall experience in the production weekend that you guys had a couple weeks ago.
It was amazing. Like, that was the first time that I had been on like a big theater, setting like that. And it was nothing short of amazing. We got tons of feedback from the audience who absolutely loved the show. And it was amazing opportunity. It was so nice backstage. The Fairfield Arts Community Center, they were absolutely nice. It was one of the best performances I've ever been in.
And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Were you part of the original cast back in 2019?
Yes.
Did you also play Rachel as well?
Yes.
Okay. So in comparison, because I know every time people go out there and perform, you want to have a better show than last time. Mm-hmm. How did you feel with the new exciting roles that were revamped that Terry did? How did you feel that this performance did overall compared to the one in 2019?
It was a lot better. Not saying that 2019 wasn't good, but we changed the story around a little bit. We added some new characters. So how in 2019, people loved the show, but in January, people really loved the show. We got a lot of feedback from people who came in 2019 and it came back in January, and they said, "Oh my God, it's amazing! You all changed the story around a little bit. We love it." And coming up, it's going to be a few more changes too.
Okay, so the one that's coming up here on April 7th and 8th, there's going to be some other fine line tuning changes that could maybe help the show performance run more smoothly, right?
Definitely. They're going to see more of Brandon's relationship with Rachel's parents.
Okay. So, usually, because this is written and directed by Terry. Mm-hmm. This is produced by Enlightened Studios. And are you guys capable of having the same exact cast members, or have some roles changed in a bit?
So we have the same cast members.
Okay.
Which helps because we all bond really well together. There's a lot of chemistry between all of us. So we're kind of like a family, and that definitely helps because we're all familiar with acting with each other from January.
Yeah. So, okay. So you play and this is a perfect picture, no?
Yes.
So you play the husband of Brandon. had a handful of performances. You actually had a double header on Saturday,
Yep.
and then you had to finish off on Sunday. I know a lot. You guys have a distinctive, enlightened group.
Mhm.
From people who've never done it before, the people who've been doing it for years. I think you even grabbed somebody that was more into like the actual movie set,
Yep.
that changed into the theater play. Um, can you just kind of explain or describe the family oriented relationship getting ready for plays like this, especially having to do it all over again?
Right. So we definitely missed each other when the show was over. So we were very excited to get back to rehearsals. And now rehearsals are different. So as we're getting ready for January, we were all learning the line, learning stage, learning what to do. Now we all kind of have that same bond. So it's definitely easier. Rehearsals go much smoother because we don't have to really learn
Yeah.
as much now. We can more like, okay, so this time I think I'd rather do this. So now there's going to be even more energy because we're in January, we had energy, but
Yeah.
we were making sure we had all the lines right, the staging right, blocking right. And now because we're familiar, we can definitely help each other more. And even those new actors, they're like pros now because we've worked together and they kind of feed off of those who have been acting already.
We're talking with Brittany Brown, plays Rachel, the husband of Brandon in Love's Not Enough. That will be, you guys are having a re-performance on April 7th
Yes.
at 7 p.m. and then
Mhm.
on April 8th at 3 p.m.
Yep.
Hopefully, after this, you guys can start working on taking this on the road,
Mhm.
spreading the message, because Love's Not Enough is a lot more than just a theater play. It really digs deep into idolizing messages of relationships in life that a lot of people avoid confronting. And
Yeah.
so, I know it was a big trying to for as big for me last time talking to you guys, trying to understand your guys' purpose or message heading into the play. The one part that I wanted you guys to, be give to the audience so they could take away. Has that changed for you, or are you still same message that we had, from the last time?
So, and they'll definitely in this of January because they
Mm-hmm.
see more of Brandon's relationship with those parents to see how Brandon stands up for himself because
Yeah.
the parents take advantage of him. But this time they're definitely going to see him having a voice speaking for himself because in January they really didn't see a lot of that. He just kind of took it and set back. But now they will definitely see Brandon's personality in every aspect.
Yeah, that's and I unfortunately I didn't get a chance to make it out to it. I had prior commitments. Knowing the now what the dates of. I mean, I've been talking about it. It's kind of one of those, if you have nothing going on for the weekend,
Mhm.
check out up at the Community Arts Center, Fairfield. Are there prices still the same, kind of in the same
Kind of,
range?
but I will say if you
Yeah,
want tickets, please get them online
get them
because
online.
they're $5 at the door.
Oh,
But you definitely want to have a feeling this show will sell out.
oh,
That
really? Okay.
that's our goal.
How was the initial response to the crowd? Was it
Um,
a packed crowd? I mean, I did see a couple of pictures of it being
uh-huh.
pretty full a couple of nights.
Yeah, it got pretty full.
Okay.
It got pretty full pretty fast. We actually didn't expect that crowd or even them to react the way they did, but they were
Okay.
really into it and they brought people with them. I had a few people
Okay.
that came to the second show, they came back again
Oh,
and brought
really?
people with them. And we even had people in the parking lot one morning before the theater even opened asking, "Can we get tickets?" So that was exciting to see that people were lining up to see us.
Okay, so here's just I guess just picking your brain here about being an actress, right?
Mhm.
Um you see that crowd and you go out on the stage, you see it packed and full, and you see the reaction that you got last time.
Yes.
Does it what does it do for you? Does it build like nerves? Do you like, okay, I got to do better this time around than last time? How do you feel about that?
So personally, me, I love being on stage. Acting since I was 9, so I definitely do not get jitters at all. I used to, but now I never have jitters. Actually seeing that audience inspires me to do more. Um,
Okay.
I love going out and seeing a packed audience. A lot of us don't like to look at the audience person. I want to look dead smack in their eyes and talk to them. And it definitely helped me in January and in 2019 because when you see the actors getting into it, you can
Mm.
talk more to the audience so they're kind of feeling the same thing that you're feeling. So I love an audience. I love looking them straight in the eyes and bringing them into the conversation definitely.
I, I could only imagine it just builds, probably the initial reaction and be like, oh my, hopefully everything goes well. But you got to, it's like, it just motivates you and it makes you feel, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it should make you feel that, okay, we got a good reaction from, this crowd, local community, we're doing something right here, whether it's promotion, whether it's actually putting on a great performance, and hopefully this carries on the road. Is there anything else that you're possibly working on, or that you want to maybe say here, um, at the end of what you're personally doing, or other plays, or
So I am actually working on a lot.
Mhm.
I actually graduated from Ohio Media School.
Oh,
I'm back
congratulations.
here for film emphasis. So
Okay.
right now I'm actually starting to write my own plays, and
Okay.
I'm pretty excited because I know what I can do as an actress,
Mhm.
and that definitely helps me write my own, things. I'm starting to get into music more and write my own music. So I'm definitely doing a lot, including starting a podcast. Um,
Okay.
I have a lot coming up,
Yeah.
definitely.
You mentioned something interesting. You're starting, you just graduated. Congratulations. I've
Thank you.
actually been kind of lingering into the Ohio media because I've been doing this podcasting for so long and I get emails and emails. Hey, join us now. And I'm like,
Yes.
I don't know. I want the freedom with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Mhm.
afraid that if I start doing other things, I lose that freedom. You know what I'm saying? From the ability of, doing my own show and whatnot. But you mentioned a personal thing, how you're starting to write your own plays. And you've
Yes.
learned a lot, you could take what you've learned from acting
Uh-huh.
into a display. But Terry's also done the very similar thing. He's doing it right now. He wrote this play, he's directed
Mhm.
this play. He's also having to play a main role into this, into casting. How much, if at all, are you maybe grabbing and taking from Terry and the knowledge and the wisdom to pass on to help with your work?
Oh, everything. He literally told me, "Okay, this is how you start. If you need help, let me know."
Mhm.
And because I know his success in things that he writes, I definitely like, "Okay, Terry, I need help with this." I let him read most of my things that I write because I'm like, "Okay, if it sounds right to him,
Yeah.
then it's okay." Because I'm just now starting. So he definitely is a big help when you're trying to write things and you're new to writing. Definitely.
And I also think maybe that's a message to in general for Enlightened Studios,
Mhm.
because one thing I've learned from the previous interviews and the one thing I've taken away and I still want to just emphasize to everyone who hasn't heard of Enlightened Studios, it's not just you go in there and do your work and get out. It's a
Yeah.
family. It's oriented around working with each other, helping each other, building each
Mhm.
other up, from all aspects, whether you're just learning how to be an actor, an actress, or
Yep.
you're trying, like you're doing, writing your own plays. Brittany, thank you for your time. And we wish you the best of luck April 7th and 8th.
Yes.
Love's Not Enough. Love's Not Enough. Two more plays over Easter weekend, and that will be done at the Community Arts Center in Fairfield, Ohio. Tickets are available still. Like you mentioned, get them online. Don't get them at the door. Um, and I'm working on trying to see if I could get out there that
Awesome.
weekend as well. So hopefully, like I said, wish you the best of luck and thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Alrighty, that was Brittany Brown. Thank you. Welcome on back here, and that was Brittany Brown, a interview that we did last week, part of Love's Not Enough, that would be displayed next weekend, April 7th and April 8th, from 7 p.m. and a 3 p.m. showing. Get your tickets at the Community Arts Center now, Fairfield, Ohio. I want to give a big shout out to our friends over there at Epidemic Sound. Discover your world-class artists, composers, and bands. Find the perfect soundtrack and give your social media accounts the music they deserve. Epidemic Sound is a royalty-free music link. For more information, check out epidemicsound.com. Strength by Soweto. All right. A lot going on here, and we get down to the fun topic here, and it's been the last segment of the program talking about professional wrestling and Monday Night Raw, as it gets the last show before WrestleMania, which is what, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's what, 5 days away, you guys. 5 days away from WrestleMania 39. Excited, and what can we expect to see at WrestleMania this year? We got plenty of matches. So let's go over the matches that is in place right now that's already booked. All right. And I'm going to start back at the top of the page, and we're just going to go down. I'm not going to give you predictions on who I think is going to win or anything like that. So, but I am just going to let you know of what the matches are entitled to. What we do know is that we're expected to see John Cena and Austin Theory kick off the show, but 13 matches is scheduled to be on the card. Okay. And we're going to work our way backwards. So here's our WrestleMania match. We got Rey Mysterio taking on Dominic Mysterio. We got a fatal four-way tag team match, a men's WrestleMania showcase match between Braun Strowman, Ricochet, taking on the Street Profits, taking on Alpha Academy, taking on the Viking Raiders. Then we will see a women's WrestleMania showcase match between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, taking on Natalya and Shotzi, taking on Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, and then taking on an unknown mystery tag team partners that we will hopefully find out tonight on Raw. We will see the Intercontinental Championship be defended between Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther. We will see a Hell in a Cell match between Edge and Finn Balor. We will see Brock Lesnar taking on Omos on a one-on-one competition. We see Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus taking on Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai in a 6-woman tag team match. The Raw Women's Championship will be up for grabs while Bianca Belair takes on Asuka. We will see the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the defending champions, the Usos. We will also see the Women's SmackDown Championship match, Charlotte Flair taking on Rhea Ripley, who won the 2023 Royal Rumble match. We will see Logan Paul taking on Seth frickin' Rollins. We will also see United States Championship match, Austin Theory defending his title against John Cena. And then last but not least, we will see the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match between Cody Rhodes and the winner, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. And Cody Rhodes was the winner of the 2023 Royal Rumble match. And that is actually a pretty exciting match card, nonetheless. In comparison, I'm going to give the match card grading a B. And I think for what Triple H has been able to put out there for WrestleMania, there are a few matches that I have really disagreed on, like the showcase matches for the men's and women's division. But I think that was maybe the last resort to try to fit everybody in there, like Ronda Rousey, Natalia, Braun Strowman, the Street Profits. And they kept it very simple. You think about this, it's if you divide those matches in half, 13 matches, you divide it in half, you get yourself about 5 to 6 matches a night. And you've allowed yourself to really focus and work on each individual match alone, right? I mean, you allowed the story, the match to take about 10 to 20 minutes per match. Don't forget the segments in between, the Hall of Fame, all that stuff, and all the pre-works and whatnot. So, it's not no 17, 18 matches. It's a shorter match card. But we see some decent matches. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. And we get to see John Cena and Austin Theory. From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, this match is set to kick off WrestleMania night 1. And like I said, 3 weeks ago, John Cena returns to Boston on a Monday Night Raw. Austin Theory comes out and basically offers John Cena a title match. At first, John Cena says no and tells Austin later in the segment that the only reason why I said no was because he didn't want to put Austin Theory in the position that he was not ready for. And basically goes on and tells Austin Theory that you're not ready for this. And if I beat you, you lose everything. And if you win, you lose everything. And I'm sorry, but John Cena's a part-timer. I think his time is winding down. And I appreciate everything he's given. But for me, this is a match that Theory needs to win. And I think, over the last few weeks, he needs this win more than anything else. And I can sit here and I can complain until I'm blue in the face of how the way that announcing this match should have went down. But I think at the bottom line is that I think this does wonders for a guy like Austin Theory beating someone like John Cena. It's being able to prove everybody wrong. And that's what Austin Theory is working on doing. He's proving everyone wrong when everyone tells Austin Theory that you don't belong here. You're not that it factor yet. And you know what? He may not be that it factor quite yet because he hasn't had enough experience like Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns or Bobby Lashley. But I think he's growing up to be there. And it's going to take the right people to develop him. And yes, listen, I see a lot of Austin Theory and what he's capable of doing as John Cena was, but he is a key figure to the WWE roster. I think he is a key figure to the future of the WWE. And I think he's also, and I think this is the important one, he's a key figure to the heel version of the WWE. It's hard to play a really good bad guy in professional wrestling. And Roman Reigns plays that. JBL did that in the past. Chris Jericho is pretty notorious for having a good heel character when he's a bad guy. There's not many bad guys out there that succeeds to the point where you have to talk about him. Austin Theory plays that role. And I think after his heel character comes back, if it continues, don't let it up now because he's probably one, if not the hottest heel character on Raw today. So I think that's the reason why I'm excited for this match, to also see John Cena. And I like the fact that other than it being it's not being a mid-card match, it's a first match to kick things off. So with WrestleMania comes around, we have Let's Get Ready for Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes is set to do battle against Solo Sikoa days before challenging Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And Cody Rhodes has made it simple, saying that Solo, the reason why you don't have a WrestleMania match and the reason why you're not in the position I am is because it's simple. You're not ready. And I think this ignites Solo Sikoa, but I kind of wish we saw maybe a 6-man tag match, which I think they're maybe waiting for Backlash or something a little bit more. So we will see Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa do battle. Tonight, we will also see a weigh-in from Brock Lesnar and Omos. And tomorrow, I will be talking about how I'm not really favored to one or the other winning. I don't think it does a lot of wonders for one or the other career. And I'll explain more about that tomorrow. The Miz will have the Miz TV as he receives the Miz TV receives legendary guest stars Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus, and then we would have a 8-man tag team match. Right, preview for WrestleMania Showcase: Braun Strowman, Ricochet, and the Street Profits, most likely going up against Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders. So we'll definitely come back and talk a lot about Raw tomorrow. Come back and talk more WrestleMania matches tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, it was announced, okay, that SmackDown will hold the Andres the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. And it's unfortunate, but there's guys like Karrion Kross, and a key element to the name this Friday night on SmackDown, the SmackDown before WrestleMania, the SmackDown before the Hall of Fame, is that Bobby Lashley is scheduled to be in that Memorial Battle Royal because it doesn't look like Bray Wyatt's going to be back in time, and they don't have a match for Bobby Lashley, which is disappointing. So, yes, I know. So, unfortunately, we're just at the point where, all right, give him the Andre the Giant. And I think that's the second best option, but I really think that it's done an injustice to Bobby Lashley for not having the WrestleMania spotlight. And do you blame anybody? You blame the WWE for not having a backup plan? You blame Bray Wyatt? I don't know. All right. Great show. We'll come on back, more interviews and all that stuff. Hey, we're just getting started. Great week ahead of us, and we're looking for a lot more still to come. So we'll come back tomorrow, talk a lot of sports, wrap up with the St. Louis Cardinals, get you guys ready one day closer to opening day, and all that good stuff. Hey, thank you guys for tuning us in. Thank you guys for watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Hey, share it, like it, subscribe to us. Leave a comment down below. Let us know how we did. Audio platforms, thank you guys for listening. And that's it for today. We'll be back again tomorrow with a lot more sports to cover. You guys are listening to The Throw-In right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your day.